symbol of Wall Street, and Wall Street is almost always in our headlines. Our next guest was actually convicted of insider trading back in 2011. He was arrested, charged. They offered him a plea deal. He didn't take it. He could not have gone to prison had he accepted it, but he went to jail for 2 years, Lewisburg in Pennsylvania. Let's take a look at Michael Kimmelman back in those days. He's telling his story now. He was prosecuted by the U.S. Attorney Preet Bharara, remember, the former U.S. Attorney? And Rosanna, let's put the book cover up. How about that? His story is in this book, Confessions of a Wall Street Insider, a cautionary tale of rats, feds, and banksters. Ooh. Michael Kimmelman, welcome to Good Day New York.
Thank you, Greg and Rosanna.
So nice to have you here. By the way, so you don't just go after the rats, the feds, and the banksters. Well, the feds, you have a lot to say about Preet Bharara.
I do. And there was an article recently that took a little bit of a one-sided approach. Obviously, it's a little more nuanced. I think Preet did some very good things. I think had he gone after the political corruption a little earlier and targeted the bad actors of the financial crisis, I think his legacy would have been gold. But I think in some ways he did go for the easy money and the easy headlines and insider trading.
So 5:30 in the morning back in 2009, the feds come to your door, they knock on it, and they arrest you. Are you surprised, or did you feel that this was coming? And what did you do, by the way?
It was a surprise. It wasn't a complete shock because Rajaratnam had been arrested a few weeks earlier, so there was something out there. And I did read the criminal complaint. I had been a lawyer and saw some of the stocks he traded. I had traded some of the same stocks. Those were stocks that I wasn't charged for. But people had an idea that there was something out there. I was shocked, though, that I was a target. I thought for a chance my firm might have been talked to. One of my partners had worked for Raj directly. So I thought there was a chance the SEC would interrogate him, but there's a big difference between that and, obviously the Fed showing up at your door.
So why did you want to write this confessions book? Why not just kind of leave it in the past? You're moving on. You're doing a million different things these days. Why bring it up again?
So, really two reasons. First, I'm looking for redemption. I didn't get justice in that case. It was a very unfair prosecution in many ways. We had a judge that has now been overruled in several cases that came after mine. So in many ways, that was the primary motivation, but it's also in prison you have a scarcity of almost everything. There's a scarcity of privacy, of decency, but the one thing you have almost endless amounts of is time. So, sitting in the prison library, reading my week-old Wall Street Journal, seeing multi-billion fines by banks and hearing about, Preet on the cover of Time, I figured I can either pull my hair out, scream, or write, and decided to write.
So you're convicted of insider trading, related charges. The judge at sentencing said, you know what, this was a close case. I'm not even sure if you're guilty or not. Nevertheless, he sentenced you to 2 years. Do you accept that you did something wrong?
I definitely did something wrong in that I put myself in a situation with somebody who was not a great person. I don't accept that I broke the law. I'll tell you with no clear, amount that I didn't trade 3Com on inside information or profit off inside information. But the bigger picture is I was in business with a guy who was not a great guy. There were some minor red flags, nothing that rose to the level of, hey, I got to end this business and walk away from a successful firm I built because I'm in business with a sociopath. But the bottom line is we are responsible for the people we surround ourselves with, and you have to take ownership of those consequences. And that's something I try to impart, obviously, to when I speak to at-risk youth and to my own children.
Do you believe that Wall Street still needs to be cleaned up?
Any industry right now, it feels like there is a level of, if not corruption, at least issues that need to be addressed. That's never going to change. You're never going to have a perfect system where everything is, operates fluidly, efficiently, and transparently. I think there has been some tremendous strides taken towards, a better system than when I first came in the business in the late 90s, but there's always improvement.
You also say that basically, the intentions, the motivation of the U.S. Attorney were not always about, cleaning up the industry.
Sure.
Do you still stand by those statements?
Yes. If you wanted to clean up the industry, you would have targeted, taken a proper investigative approach, and that might have yielded some real targets and real reforms. I paid a $30,000 disgorgement fine for my gains. I went to prison for 30 months. The banks paid somewhere in the neighborhood of $400 billion and virtually no one went to prison. So I'm not a math quant, but those numbers don't seem to add up.
Now, one report says, now you did well on Wall Street, but you weren't like, you know, a super duper titan. Reportedly, your best year on Wall Street, you made about $400,000 a year. Is that true?
I'm not going to comment on the numbers.
You saw that article. Are they in the ballpark?
I did. I mean, there's different ways to measure compensation. I was not one of these top strata guys that, you know, nets 8, 9, 10 figures a year easily. I was certainly a different level of trader.
You mentioned you had a lot of time in jail. What else did you do? What was that like? A lot of people have this idea that it's like club fed for white-collar criminals like you. You are officially a convicted criminal to this point, but that it's, you know, all tennis and it's a bit of a joke.
No, I mean, the days of club fed, I think, are gone. In the 80s, that may have existed. It didn't exist where I was. It was, you know, most of the people are there for drugs these days in the federal system. It's a sad fact, and the war on drugs is an absolute public policy disaster. So you see many people who are there, first-time nonviolent offenses, serving 20, 25-year sentences. And obviously, me going through the process, I have a little bit different of a platform that I could speak out about some of the injustices I saw and the barbaric experience that prison is. But that's obviously something people of color and other minorities have known about for a very long time.
Did you get along with your officers?
You know, it's a mixed bag. There were guards who were very respectful and decent people, and then there were others who were sadists and just very unhappy people.
They were trying to...
In any way they could inflict pain. So.
How was the food? Seriously.
Food is
no, he talks about it in the book.
Look, I went to an LA City public school, and that food is gourmet compared to obviously prison food. Prison food it's a disgrace. It's all carbs and white rice and bread, and then in the morning at 6:30, 2/3 of the camp is in line to get diabetes shots because everybody's sick. So it's unhealthy.
Anything good come from your experience in jail?
Absolutely. Look, I believe experiences are what make us, and certain things that happened to me while on the inside, such as getting sober, figuring out what's important in my life, you know, some of the people I met and the experiences I had, I think will be a blessing in the long run.
Do you feel that you were partying too much and that clouded your judgment before you went to jail?
Probably.
So you're clean now.
I am. It's, you know, that New York finance lifestyle is conducive towards having a couple of cocktails after the trading day. You know, post 9/11 that became 3 or 4. Post arrest that became 5 or 6. So it got to a point where I was probably drinking to excess, and to clean up and get a clear head, you know, maybe I would have taken the deal. If I was
when you went into jail, you were married, 3 kids, by the way. How old are they?
I have a daughter who's 12 and boys 10 and 7 right now.
And that's very tough, right? That's got to be the toughest part?
It was by far the toughest part of leaving. Nothing else compares. And coming home, I've done everything I can, obviously, to make amends for that, get back in their life, and, you know, do the good things in life, like coach their sports and be a dad as much as I can.
It's a fascinating book, Michael Kimmelman, Confessions of a Wall Street Insider, a cautionary tale of rats, feds, and banksters.